today, my fiancée and I are going to learn how to count on our hands the numbers in the ancient Roman fashion. I'm Luke, and this is Polymathy. Various systems of finger counting, or dactylonomy, have existed around the world. The oldest complete testimony of the system we are going to try to learn today is that written down by the Venerable Bede in the early 8th century AD in his De Computo, vel loquela per gestum digitorum. But evidence for this same system goes back to Juvenal and even Herodotus, and it seems to have been widespread through Europe and beyond in the Middle Ages. So, one is supposed to be like this. Wow, how can you do that?
Molto vulcaniano.
Is it because you're Roman? Is that why you can do that and I can't? Wow, that's it. That's one. That's amazing. Yeah, that's one. Actually, I think it's supposed to be on the left hand. Not that it matters. Can you do it on the left? The same way?
No.
Ooh. Well, you know on the right hand. That's cool. I can't do that. If I look at my finger, I can make this one, the ring finger, become straight. Yeah, so that's supposed to be one.
Uno.
Right. And then two is supposed to be two fingers bent. Wow, you're so good at that.
Duo.
That's right. It's because duo. And then three is with three fingers, these three fingers bent. Partially. Right.
Sarebbe quando contiamo 1, 2?
Right. So the counting is with is counting the fingers that are down instead of counting the fingers that are up for some reason. And the reason that this probably existed as something convenient in the marketplace is you could hold the grain or the gold or whatever it is you're buying in one hand, and then in the other hand you could count. So you could pick it up here and say, I want these many, how many pieces or weight of it. So you could have one hand free to count as you're shouting at each other in the marketplace. It's like, no, I don't want to do this. That's too much. You're a criminal. What are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of the forum. So then 4 is this. Looks like that. Right? Oh gosh, you're so much better at this than I am. It must be because you're Roman. I can't do this. This is painful. And then this is supposed to be 5, right? Just the middle finger down. And also I think it's supposed to be I can't do it at all on my left hand. It's supposed to be the left hand, evidently. And then 6 is supposed to be just the ring finger down. Here's 7, but there's 1. So, right.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, it's bent more. So like this is 7. And this is 1.
Oh, strano.
It's very strange and it's extremely unpleasant. Because we didn't grow up doing this. If we grew up manipulating our hands this way, we would probably have the flexibility. So this was 2. And this should be 8. You have great flexibility in your hands, honey, and I just don't. So that's 8, and then 9 looks like 3, but it's more bent or something. Wow, look at that! That looks great.
Sembra, no?
It takes a Roman to teach us these things. This is amazing. All right, so that's supposed to be 9, and then finally, where's 10? This. I think it's supposed to go to the middle part of the thumb. Right? That's 10. Now that we've seen how to count from 1 to 10, we can understand this ancient riddle, composed in dactylic hexameter. Nunc mihi jam credas, fieri quod posse negatur, octotenes manibus, sed me monstrante magistro, sub latis septem, reliqui tibi sex remanebunt. Believe me now, the impossible is possible. Hold 8 in your hands, but with me, as teacher showing you, once you take away 7, you'll be left with 6. If you make the sign for 8 with the pinky finger and ring finger in the palm, and then take away the finger that does 7, that's the pinky finger, you'll be making the sign for 6. We're actually not sure when the Aenigmata were written, but scholarly guesses range from the 3rd to the 6th century AD. 20 is where the thumb touches the middle part of the index finger, like there.
Pensi?
or near to it.
Sembra semplicemente il pollice piegato, o no?
I think it's supposed to touch. I don't know. There are other images here. This is supposed to be 10. Yeah, it looks like okay, but it's supposed to be touching the middle, more or less the middle of the thumb. So that's supposed to be 10. And then 20 is something like this. Probably on the left hand, but yeah. Yeah, okay. That's probably 20. This is supposed to be 10, and then 20, and then 30. So the difference between 10 and 30 is where you put the index finger, according to this one. This is 10 and this is 30.
Ok, ok. Quindi 10 è questo, è l'indice appoggiato a metà pollice.
Right, that should be 10.
Poi c'è 20.
Right.
E poi c'è 30 che invece è così.
Right.
Vuol dire, ok.
Right, exactly. And then 40 looks like just a stop sign with the hand, just stop in the name of ancient Roman numbers. 50 is just the bent thumb across the palm. And then 60, the index finger goes over the thumb. This is 60. And then 70 is...
Sopra.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so you put the index finger slightly over the thumb. Then 80, you fold over it more. And then 90, the index finger touches the middle of the thumb.
Oddio!
Is this insane? This is crazy. So
No, ok.
this is apparently common in the ancient Mediterranean world, ancient Rome, and it was also used by the ancient Arabs for a while, and even up into the Middle Ages, because there are books that show these counting things, but somewhere along the line we just stopped doing this.
Una piccola parentesi, ma ti rendi conto di... Guarda, qual era?
Which one? 90?
Ecco, questi 80 e 60, no, 70 e 60.
Mhm.
Ti rendi conto che è praticamente quasi la stessa cosa, soprattutto 60 e 80, sono praticamente la
Exactly.
stessa cosa, ma come hanno fatto a disegnare? Perché un dito è come se facesse... Ah, aspetta, ho capito. Ok, facciamo finta che non ho detto niente, poi la taglierai.
Okay, sure.
60, il pollice è un po' piegato,
Mhm.
quindi è così.
Okay.
Mentre 80 il pollice è dritto.
Aha. Right.
Come fai a mettere... Non capisco perché il dito è disegnato in questo modo, questa cosa è impossibile. A meno che tu non abbia un pollice così corto, allora potresti farlo, ma nessuno ha un
Yeah.
pollice così corto da poter fare...
I think these illustrations were done before the Renaissance, and so they didn't know how to draw hands very well. I mean, I can't draw hands very well, so I understand. Now, if you want to do more than just count uno, due, tres in Latin, but actually read fluently, then you're going to want the amazing lessons taught by my colleagues at the Ancient Language Institute. Ancient Language Institute uses a direct approach where you learn to read the language, not to decode it or decrypt it or translate it, but you learn what the words mean in context, taking advantage of some of the best pedagogical science of the past 2 decades when applied to modern languages as well as to ancient languages. And not only Latin, but ancient Greek, Hebrew, and Old English are the core languages of the Ancient Language Institute. The fall semester is the best time to jump in so you can become part of a cohort with whom you can learn your target language. But not just beginner, also intermediate and advanced courses are available at ALI. And the Latin for Kids program continues this fall, the opportunity for elementary, middle, and high school students to learn the Latin language. It's a year-long program, and man, I wish I had had that opportunity when I was a kid. And it's not too late to join the Ancient Greek Bible Camp hosted by ALI this summer. Registration for that closes soon, so if you want to be a part of it, go to ancientlanguage.com so you can sign up right away. Thanks so much to ALI for sponsoring this video. Now let's continue contorting our fingers. Okay, here's some descriptions.
ok.
Okay, 1. The little finger bent at the middle joint. Okay, so you do that so well. I can't do that. You're so good at this.
Ah!
Like, the way I've been able to figure out how to try to do this, since my hand just my fingers move together. I never train them separately. Is if I look at the finger either in the video camera or if I look directly at it, I can force these two to be straight and
Comunque no, non è
I feel
facile.
like Captain Kirk inside the force field that is powered by his own frustration.
I can't seem to stand up.
The field draws its energy from your bodies. The more you resist, the stronger the force field becomes.
Non è facile.
No, it's not easy. And the ring and little fingers bent. And the ring and little fingers bent. Okay, 2 is the ring and middle fingers bent at the middle joints. Okay. 3, middle. So the 3 is this. So part halfly. Right. Or halfly, as they say in Britannia. And then 4. Okay.
No.
I got it. That's 4. And then 5. Yep. Great. And then the ring finger down for 6. Right?
Ok, scusa.
And then 7, what does it say for 7? The little finger closed on the palm. So I guess the idea is the difference between 1 and 7 is that the finger is down more. So this, maybe I can do, this should be 8 against the palm, and that would be 2.
Aspetta, io sono con 7.
Yeah. So I guess that's be 7 and 8.
Ah.
Yeah. And then with the third one down, touching the palm, it's 9. So
Okay.
I'll be gentle. That should be 3, and that should be 9. Posso?
Certo.
This should be 2, and that should be 8.
Ok.
And this is 1, and this is something like that. It's 7. And yeah, it's having 1 down. It's 7.
Ok.
Okay.
Quindi 9.
10. The tip of the index finger touching the middle joint of the thumb. So this is the right hand, left hand. Now, the reason they're supposed to be left hand with the up to 100 is so on the right hand you can count in hundreds or thousands. And the left hand is ones or tens. I guess that's the idea. 20, the thumb tucked between the index and middle finger? Really? So 20 is supposed to be you tucking the thumb between the index and middle finger, evidently. 20. The thumb tucked between the index and middle fingers so that the thumbnail touches the middle joint of the index finger. Oh.
Ok.
Okay, and 30. The tips of the thumb and index finger touching and forming a circle or ring, right? So the OK sign is 30. 40. The thumb and index finger standing erect and close to each other, so just this. 50. The thumb is bent at both joints and held against the palm. 50 is easy. 60. The index finger closed over the thumb. 70. Let me look at 80 first. 80. The tip of the index finger resting on the first joint of the thumb. So folding over is 60. 80 is this. Apparently. 60 and 80. I don't know how these people took over the whole Mediterranean. They didn't have 0. They had to count like this. How did you do that? That's impressive.
Un talento.
And then, so 70, the first joint of the index finger resting over the first joint of the thumb, which is held nearly straight. So 70, you kind of fold it over slightly. So this is 70.
Mi sono persa.
Yeah, me too. And 90, the thumb bent over the first joint. So this is 90. So instead of doing this, it's this. So the thumb is covering.
Questo è 40. Questo era 40, no?
No, that should be 30. Because 40 is this.
Sì,
right?
scusa, questo era 30, quindi un cerchio, mentre
90.
così. Quindi
Right.
non deve essere così,
Right.
ma deve essere così.
Yeah, exactly.
Così?
Yeah,
Ok.
right.
Ci sto capendo.
So the hundreds are the same, but they're on the right hand.
Ok.
And then the thousands are the same as 1 to 10, but on the right hand.
E se una persona era mancina?
Tough luck. Then they
Come
then they're
facevano
crucified. I don't know what the ancient Romans would do. So if you master 1 to 10 without breaking your fingers, that's great. And then you could do that. And then if you get to 10 to 100, you would be able to do then redo the same thing of redo all the tens are the hundreds, but on the right hand, and then the thousands are 1 to 10 on the right hand. So now we would like for you out there to try this and let us know in the comments exactly how painful this was for you. Did you hate this as much as we did? By the way, if you want to learn the Italian language, one of the best ways you can start is with the videos on my fiancée's channel, Irene la Preziosa. Absolutely wonderful videos, and of course she has an incredibly beautiful voice, so it is a wonderful way to learn the Italian language. Now we're going to show you all the numbers here in order from 1 to 1,000 as best as we can. 1 2
Ce l'hai lo scotch? Ma se io faccio così se ne accorge qualcuno che questa è la destra. La metto di...
1.
Aspetta.
Thank you. That's 1. Yeah, help me out. This is 1. Okay, then 2. Good. And then 3.
Aspetta, facciamo una cosa, io ti aiuto.
Okay, good. Just use my left hand. Okay, 1 is partially bent of the pinky finger, and then 2, half bent of these, right? And then 3, that's 3, and then 4, excellent, just like that. And then 5 is the middle finger, great. And then 6 is the ring finger down and middle finger up, excellent, great. And then 7 is the pinky finger against the palm, excellent, beautiful. I'm feeling okay. This is okay. And then this is 8.
Ok.
That's 8. And then this is 9. Okay. And then 10 is this. This is 10, touching the middle of the thumb with the index finger, right? This is 20. Then 30 is okay. 40 just looks like that. 50, my favorite of all of these, it's so easy. 60, the index finger goes over the first digit of the thumb.
A 80 il dito non è piegato.
Right, so the difference between, 60 is like this, but 70, the pollice, the thumb is not bent. This is 60 and this is 80. And 70 is the thumb touching this part of the index finger. So 70, and then 80, and then 90. 90 somewhere around here. This is very. All right, this is the clear, serious version. This is very clear. Then the right hand. 100, 200. 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Somewhere along there for 900. And then you have to help me out with this again. Okay, so 1,000. Yeah, and then the 2,000. 3,000. 4,000.
Ah, aspetta.
No, what do we do? 3,000?
Rifai 300.
Okay, this is 3,000. Okay, and 4,000. Yeah. 5,000. 6,000. Thank you. Excellent. And then 7,000 is the pinky against the palm. That's better. That's 7,000. 8,000, 2 down. Yep. Beautiful. 9,000. And that's it. Then the Romans stopped counting because they broke all their fingers.
Whee!
Now that we've learned how to count in the hundreds, these verses by the poet Juvenal make more sense. Felix nimirum, qui tot per saecula mortem distulitatque suos iam dextra computat annos. Naturally, he is a happy man who has deferred death for so many ages and counts his years on the right hand. Since the hundreds are counted on the right hand, he is over 100 years old. Since Juvenal flourished from the 1st to 2nd centuries AD, we can see that the system that we're presenting here today could have indeed gone back that far and probably further.
So here's how all this works together, because we ran into the question, what do you do after 10? How do you get to 11? Honey, could you bend my pinky finger down just one bit? Right, so this is 11, and then, here, can you get that one too? Right, that's 12. This is not an obscene gesture. This is exactly how it should be. And then one more. This would be 13. And then 14 would be these two down. Then 15. And then could you bend the ring finger down, honey? Excellent, thank you. So that's 16. And then you'd bend the pinky finger into the palm. That's 17. Then 18. And it's not an obscene gesture. This is how it's supposed to be. Stop laughing. This is not at you or anyone. This is just how it's supposed to be. And that's 19. So to give another number that I could actually do on my own, I could do 39. So the idea here is that you're counting the lower digits with these three, and then the tens with these two fingers. So this is 1 to 9, and this is for the tens. So that's what the right hand is for. So the right hand over here, the thousands start here, so this would say be 9,000. And then, by the way, this is where the 9 is, the digit is, and this is where the 1. So this is 9,999, like that. Again, 9,999. Or to do another thing that's easy enough for me to do on my own, 9,339. Like that. Something else that we noticed is that in the images, sometimes they said that the hundreds were these two figures or with these three fingers. But I think if you're flashing these hands up in front of someone, obviously they're reversed here just for the sake of the camera, but if you're doing it like this, then if you go from left to right, then it makes sense for these to be thousands, these to be hundreds, these to be tens, and these to be the ones, the 1 to 9, right? So let's do another arbitrary number. What number in the thousands would you like to do? Or hundreds?
150.
Okay, so 150. Oh, what? Sorry. 150. Cool. Give me another.
260.
Okay, so 260.
1931.
Okay, so it's 1000, and then you said 900. Okay, and then 30, and then 1. Could you bend this one over here for me, please? At the same time. That's it. So this is the most ergonomically efficient and effective of all the dactylonomic finger counting systems. And that's how to do the ancient Roman finger counting on both hands up to 1,000. Now, we would like for you to try this and let us know in the comments if it was just as painful for you as it was for us. Give it your best shot. Thanks again to the Ancient Language Institute for sponsoring this video, and thanks as always to each and every one of my Patreon supporters. Walete. This one. Some computers do that. This is prego. And that's what I have to say.
Ho capito.
You do? Did you get it?
L'unica differenza che vedo forse...
You're right, that's what it is. Thank you. Much better.
Un po' difficile.
Yeah, not easy. Okay.
Oddio.
Look at 1.
Questo sembra ancora peggio.
And look at 7.
Io faccio... Ok, dai.
Va bene. Ok, contiamo.
Dai, che lo sai.
29. Yeah, okay. I know, I want to make sure I counted it.
42.